Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are listening to And Another Thing. We are Joella and Helen, and this is episode 9.
And you've just got back from Chicago.
I did. So in last week's episode, it was a little bit shorter, and hopefully you got to experience some fun bloopers and some short stories that kind of ended up on the cutting room floor because I went to Chicago for a couple of days and didn't have a lot of time to edit a podcast. And so we made it shorter, and I drove 16-hour round trip for a total of, I think we were probably in the city for maybe about 20 hours in total by the time we actually landed in the city and then left the city.
Oh my God.
So nearly equal parts driving and equal parts
visiting with your friend.
Visiting.
It was a good visit though.
It was a great visit.
Mm-hmm.
So Chicago is about a 7.5 to 8 hour drive for where we live. And as a New Zealander, I have to go through the immigration port every time because I'm on a New Zealand passport, and I'm only allowed in it's a long story, but I kind of have to go into the building every time. Shall I go into my experience?
Sure.
Of
This is twice we've had a funny experience at the border when we've gone through.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very easy, and sometimes I have very kind human beings.
Mm-hmm.
This particular one, he wasn't unkind. He was just very short and sharp. And I understand that the people at the border control are doing their job. 100% respect for that.
Yeah.
But I said I was going to go and meet a friend of mine. She was in the States. She's visiting family. She was going from Wisconsin down to Kansas. She was flying through Chicago. She extended her layover for 24 hours so that we could hang out. And then she would carry on visiting her family. Because sometimes it's just better to tell the truth. Why are you coming into the States? I told them the story. And then I got grilled about all the information of my friend. And they're like, well, what's your friend's name? And so I told them, well, what's her last name? And I told them. And she has a very long, hard to spell last name. How do you spell your your friend's last name? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, how do you not know how to spell your friend's last name? And I was like, because it's very long. In my brain, I just felt like saying, do you want to try and spell that, sir? And so then he's like, well, and then he leans back and he looks at me and he says, what's your friend's birthday? And I was like, it's in November. Honestly, my brain, I was just like, I don't know. There's so many people's birthdays that I have held in my head, and there are other people's birthdays that I don't have held in my head. And then the flip side too is that when you live on the other side of the planet, for people in New Zealand, I not only have to think about what their birthday is, but I have to remember the day before so that I can message them the day before because it's actually their birthday in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. It's not their birthday date in Canada. And then the other tricky thing is that I can't wake up the day before and message them because it's still the same day. So I have to wait until lunchtime when the day has switched over for them, and it's actually – so it's so much information. Yeah. I don't remember some people's birthdays. I just rely on social media to remind me.
And they made you go and get your phone, didn't they?
And then he's like, okay, how do you not know your friend's birthday? And I was like, oh, just because. I didn't say that, but I was like, I just don't. She's like, well, what year was she born? And I was like, for goodness sake, I think she's about 2 years older than me. I'm not entirely sure. He's like, is her name on your phone? I said, yeah. And because I had to leave everything in my car, and they basically just rifle through your car. They the bonnet's up, the boot's up. My car's wide open. They've searched everything. And so I come back with my phone and I show him her last name, and he's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, see? You douchebag.
Why are some of them douchebags? The last time we went through, we got yelled at because we'd moved up. Like the car in front of us had gone, and so we moved up, and then he yelled at you, get back, get back.
Why would you think that you can move up right now? And he banged my bonnet, and he's like, back up, back up.
Yeah. And then he was just mean.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's a bit scary, actually.
It is, but thankfully, in that particular moment, I just stood there and I was cool as a cucumber.
You have to be.
And I also did not answer back. Mm-hmm. I just answered the questions that were asked, and because you don't answer back,
no,
it's going to take the wrong way. But I just kind of stood there and I thought, look, either you're going to send me back home, which okay,
Yeah.
We've got a hotel room. My friend can just Uber from the airport. She can spend the day in the city by herself and then Uber back. Like, it's not the end of the world.
No.
And then any question that you're going to ask me, I have the information for you, just not in my brain right now. So have at it. Like, but it did rattle me.
Oh, for sure.
For a little bit.
For sure.
So anyway, that was my introduction. No questions about me. Just, and then the last question that he asked me was, he gave me back all of my things and I was about to walk away and he goes and says, so you understand about work, right?
What kind of work am I going to do in 20 hours?
And he said, you understand the concept of work? And I said, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was that arrogant about it.
Right.
I said, yeah. And he says, you know that you can't work while you're here. And I was like, yeah. Like, in my brain thinking, what do you think I'm going to do, sir? Like,
no, maybe they thought you were going for, because it's a short trip, maybe it's like a
handoff
or you're helping somebody at, I don't know, a show or something that you need. Oh, I can understand why you asked the question, but seriously.
I can understand why all the questions were asked as well, but it was just one of those
especially
moments.
now.
Yeah. So that was my
that doesn't happen as much when you fly in. I mean, they still give you the 3rd degree, but I feel like when you go over the border, because they're very worried that lots of people are smuggling things over.
Yeah. So anyway, that was my introduction to going to Chicago. But we had a great time.
Good.
We went to Navy Pier, saw the Bean, ate some pizza. We did something else. I can't remember. But
just
walked along the river, caught up with a friend.
Awesome.
It was great.
And now you're pooped.
And now I'm pooped. But you went to a golf tournament.
I went to the golf tournament.
How was that?
It was a great day. Really, I mean, I don't know. I called it a championship and it's a tournament. Like, that's how much I know about golf. But I really, really enjoyed the day. And the people that had asked us there, they hosted us perfectly. And we were prime spot. We could see the 18th hole. And I did a lot of walking just to get the feel of it, you know, because I'd never been before. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it was great.
As somebody who'd never been on a golf course during that heightenedness of a tournament, did you kind of know where you were going or what to do, or was there? Because I'd be like, I've got no idea. Where do I walk and how do I?
Yeah, no, it's quite clearly marked out where you can and can't walk, and there's so many staff, marshals and stuff that you can ask. And Scott and I did get a little bit lost when we were trying to find one area, but we found it. And then there's this big bit where there's lots of drink places and, you know, places for you to eat and samples and stuff. Yeah. And then further up from there, there's something called the rink. And it's so rowdy and it's such a lot of fun up that end. I was stood there for a while.
Is it where the golfers are at that point?
There's all the golfers go through. It's one of the holes.
Okay.
But it's just very noisy. And if somebody Canadian is there, then they sing the national anthem. It's like the loud part.
Oh, wow.
But then everyone, the marshals put their hands up in the air and you have to be quiet when they take their shot. I really enjoyed it.
That's so
it
cool.
was a really nice day out. And we had the perfect weather, so.
Did you have some good food? I imagine it was a good spread.
Yeah, it was very good. And when I came back from my second walk, the first lot of food had gone and the second lot of food was there. I'm like, this is amazing.
Was it different kind of food as well?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It was so good. So, yeah, that's what our weeks have looked like.
Yeah.
And now we're here. We never do well on a morning, but.
But we've got a cup of coffee in us. Well, we've got a cup of milk with us.
Oh, it's terrible.
Let's not go into that. But
no.
Ordered a coffee. There's more milk than coffee.
Yeah.
But for the moment, it'll energize us through.
All right. Should we take a sip of that?
We'll take a break.
Coffee.
Have a sip.
Okay.
We'll be right back. And we're back.
And we're back.
Back at it.
So, when you're listening to this podcast,
This episode,
I mean, yeah, you will be, we're allowed to say it now.
Yes, we're allowed to say it now.
Yeah.
So I've not given anything away or alluded to the fact that this time next week, when this episode is out, I will be in New Zealand.
How exciting.
The reason why I haven't said anything and why I've not mentioned a blip of it is because my family does not know that I'm coming. My mum knows and her husband knows. My cousins do not know and my grandparents do not know. It is my Gran and Papa's 70th wedding anniversary and I am landing in the morning. My mum is picking me up from the airport. We're driving north and then I'm seeing them straight away.
That's so exciting. So we're finally allowed to say something.
Say something.
And we have been podcasting our hearts out so that we can still deliver episodes while you're away.
Yes, because I am away. Well, I'm out of Canada for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm technically only really in New Zealand for about 2.5 because it takes that long to get there. It takes about 3 to 4 days of travel time.
Yeah.
Overall. So yes, we've worked our little butts off the last couple of weeks.
We have. Honestly, you said this was episode, what is this, 9? And I'm like, is it? Like, because we've been chopping backwards and forwards on different episodes because some of them are going to be slightly smaller again to give you the chance to have done the editing. So we've already done those ones.
Yes.
So I don't know my ass from my elbow right now, but anyway.
One's pointy and one's squishy.
Yeah, so it's exciting, really exciting.
It is very exciting. So just in terms of our podcasts, our next couple of episodes, like Helen said, they're going to be shorter, and that's purely just so that I had the time to edit them before I leave so that I don't have to touch this while I'm away. We did kind of play around with the fact of should we record while I'm in New Zealand because that would have been quite fun.
It would have been, but it means we have to upgrade our whole system.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
No.
And then also it'll be nice to take a breather.
Yes, I mean, especially for you because you have to do all the editing and stuff, so it will be nice for you not to have to do that.
Yeah.
So then we won't be sitting down here again for 3 weeks.
Another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But you guys will still be able to have content to listen to, stories to mull over and to laugh at, and, of course, more Milo questions.
More Milo
to keep you entertained.
Exactly. And you should see Jo's wall at her house. It's covered in Post-it notes, which episode we're doing, what we're going to talk about. We've got like this whole grid of
a planning system.
Yeah, which I'm not used to, so.
You're not used to a planning system?
Well, you know me.
Go by the seat of your pants?
It just most of the time. As I've gotten older, I need more plans. I need to know when things are happening. I can't just sit back and wait. No, so I am a bit of a planner, but not to your planning scale.
Well, yeah. Because I had to like grapple my head around what we were doing and what we were focusing on and how we were structuring this whole process. And then also in amongst it, I still have to work. I also threw in a very quick Chicago trip in there as well. The Chicago trip was planned before I decided to go to New Zealand. So it was all things mashed up together, as well as trying to prepare 3 episodes while I'm away. So it's been a lot.
It has been a lot, hasn't it?
It has been a lot, but I'm very excited about going. I can't believe that it's finally here.
Yeah. Next week.
Off
you go.
So when this episode goes out, it'll be Friday afternoon in New Zealand. So I'm kind of pushing it for time because if my cousins are like super enthusiastic about listening to our podcast, they'll probably know, but hopefully I'll be able to see everybody before.
Still, that's okay. They still find out as you get there.
Yeah.
If they are really keen on listening. So are you a good traveller? Do you like travelling?
Yes. I do like traveling. I love the airport. I love sitting in the airport. I will get to the airport. I'm an early to the airport person.
Me too.
Are you early to the airport for people watching or because of stressing about time?
So if I'm travelling by myself, I like to be at the airport early. And I check in and I just meander around and I people watch and I'm already on vacation. Mm-hmm. If I'm travelling with my family and especially Scott, it's absolutely completely different story.
Do you still arrive early though?
We don't arrive as early. Scott doesn't see the need to get there as early as I like to get there.
So then an element
but it's
of
very
stress.
stressy. Scott's airport stress starts before we leave the house.
Uh-huh.
It's it's not fun.
Uh-huh.
But once we're on the plane, it's okay. But then we've still got I still feel it continues until we actually leave the airport the other end. And then we're like, okay.
Okay. Now then at that point, you're on your holiday
on
mode.
our holidays. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 2 completely different experiences for me.
Yeah.
But we haven't travelled together very much recently because I normally go to England by myself. Mm-hmm. So we haven't done much of that. But yeah, it's very different. And when the kids were small.
That would have been another kettle of fish as well.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
We got everything.
Yeah. So I have the pleasure of always travelling by myself because that's all I've got. And If I can get to the airport early, then I will. And for me, I have the sense that when I walk into the airport and I'm checked in, my bags are checked in, and I just get to mosey on through security and I'm just there, I feel like all of a sudden I've like been sucked into no man's land, and I've just got like no responsibilities.
Yep.
Nobody can call in sick, and if they can, I'm sorry, I can't help. I'm at the airport. I don't have to like anything else about everyday regular life is just disappeared.
Honestly, that is so true.
Isn't that true? Like you just kind of walk in and you're like, well,
Here
I'm
I
in no
am.
man's land right now.
I love that.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. And then going to New Zealand, it's about a 24-hour flight. So from Toronto, there's no direct flight. So you've got to either go through the States or via Vancouver.
Right.
Between all of that flying, it's about a 24-hour flight. And so that also, I mean, it's quite daunting for a lot of people. For me, I want to get home. So you just got to suck it up and do it.
Yeah.
There's no other option. But it's that sense of when I'm in the airplane for a whole entire day, I'm like, I don't know what's happening on the ground.
The world.
Yep. I don't care. I'm just in this weird tube flying me for 24 hours. There is a point, though, when I get to, so it's about 5 or 6 hours to Vancouver. And then from Vancouver to New Zealand, it's about a 14-hour flight. I get to about 6 hours of that particular flight and I start to like have cabin fever a little bit. And I start to have internal panics. I'm not a panicky person in situations, but every time at about that 5 to 6 hour flight, I just kind of start getting antsy, and I'm not the best sleeper on a plane. And so I'll start thinking, I'm in a tube in the air with all these other people. I'm just in a tube and there's nowhere to go. And then I'm just like, Joella, you're fine. You're okay.
Yeah.
You've done this before. Just take a chill pill. I'm like,
take a chill pill. Yeah. Take a gravel at that point.
And so, but it is that once I hit over the halfway mark of that 14-hour flight, then I'm okay. I'm like, okay, we're downhill from here.
Yeah. I haven't travelled that far, so I don't know. I've just done my UK or from the UK to the State. Yeah, it's 9 hours tops. I've not really done any more than that. And then sitting for that long, that's when we have discussed our trip to New Zealand, I think, oh my God, how am I going to like sit for that long? It's painful. My tailbone is so painful.
Yeah.
Probably have to get one of those rings to sit on or something. But I'm just, I'm not sure how I'd do that, especially if we can't afford to lay flat.
So
we're saving our money, man.
Helen and I have this plan that when you retire, we're going to New Zealand for a trip.
Yeah.
In amongst this plan, because, you know, in dreamland, we become rich and famous.
From our podcast.
Or just rich.
No, not for our podcast at all.
You've said to me many times, so how much does first class
or
business
we looked
class?
It up and I'm like,
that's a lot of money.
Jesus.
A lot of dollars to lie
lay
flat.
down on a tube.
Yep. To lay down on a tube.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll be laying down flat. We may just be able to just scrape a little bit more leg room together, but that's going to be about it.
So on this topic of being stuck in a airplane, which considering what's happened lately in today's news about airplanes, probably not the best conversation. But I mean, they still keep on going. So you either get terrified and you never leave, or you just risk it and hop on a plane and say, well, no control.
Yeah.
So when you're on an airplane, what are some of the irks that you have that just like frustrate you?
Frustrate me?
Yeah.
If I had a kid sitting behind me, and I know about having a child with the mind of their own on a plane because I've had one. But if the kid behind me was opening and shutting the tray, and letting it go, bong, 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 I would honestly, I think I might lose my mind. So that would really, really annoy me. There isn't much else because I've got my headphones on, and so I can't.
You've taken your gravel and you're out to account anyway.
I always put my earplugs in because I don't like all of the other noise that goes on. I just like to sit in my own little bubble. When the kids are small, there's no way you can do that. So I probably enjoy flying more now because you're bending down, picking up a pencil, you're trying to do and it's a really confined space. So taking your kids on a plane is just not easy. Like it's a long haul. And then it used to be me, the kids, and then Scott would sit on the aisle because he likes to be on the aisle. And then I'd see him watching a movie or reading a paper. I'm like, oh my God. Because he can't really help from there because you've got to lean across the aisle. Anyway,
So it's the 3 seats and then the aisle separating you and he's on the other
Yeah.
side.
drinking his wine and watching his movie.
He's having a good old time traveling. It's like, yeah, traveling with kids so easy.
There is a funny story that I have to tell you. We went back to England, me, the kids, and Mum. Mum had been staying, and then we all flew back. And my mum had opted for vegetarian meals. So there was myself and Amy, and then TJ and Mum were sitting behind us. We couldn't all get together. And Amy thought, or TJ thought, that it was raining on the plane. They must have had their headphones on and they could hear this crackling noise. And it was my mum trying to, because she got her meal first. The vegetarian people get theirs first. And there was this crackling and crackling. It went on for ages. I'm like, what is Mum doing back there? But the package that the food had come in wouldn't open. So my mum was having real difficulty. I got the giggles. I'm like, what are you doing back there? But then when everyone got their food, there was this big, like
whoosh of crackling sound.
So much. And that's when one of the kids were like, is it raining? Can we hear the rain? Nobody could open these packets. It was such a loud noise. It was so funny. One other thing, as soon as you land, as soon as the seatbelt sign goes off, everyone stands up.
Right?
Where the hell are you going right now?
You're in a tube.
Yeah.
Going nowhere.
They haven't even got the doors open and you're up. Everything's out and you're like...
And then you stand there.
Yeah.
For ages.
Leaning against your seat because you can't quite stand up properly and then you have to shove. It's like, just wait. Your bags are probably not even at baggage claim at this point.
When I land somewhere, especially if I'm not on the aisle, like if I'm in the middle or on the window seat, I just wait it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm here. I'm on holiday because that's usually why I'm flying.
Yeah.
So you guys can all just meander on. I'm just going to sit here and carry on watching my movie or read my book or listen to whatever.
I kind of understand it when you get to Toronto, just because you want to get to that customs bit quick, because Toronto Airport...
It's ridiculous.
...is honestly the worst place I've ever flown into. Mm-hmm. It is absolute chaos in their customs hall. Absolute chaos. When you fly into Gatwick... It's just so easy. You just get your passport, you put it on this machine and it checks it's you and off you go. And if they need to ask you any other questions, because you've already answered questions about whether the stuff you've got with you, if they need to question you further, then they will. But here you have to fill in something before you leave and then you get there and then you have to answer the same questions again and scan your passport and then line up again. Honestly, it's the biggest load of nonsense. What's New Zealand airport like?
It sounds very much like Gatwick.
Okay.
Like it's very easy. And especially if you're a citizen from that country.
Yes.
So as a New Zealander, it's so easy. You just kind of go through, boop, passport on, all the automatic stations. Yep, it's you. Okay, go on through. Like it's
well,
such
even
a breeze.
now I've got my Canadian passport. It's still
crazy.
No, very easy.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, coming back it's still crazy. Like you don't have a special. You're Canadian off your pop.
Really?
You still have
I've never paid attention because I'm not Canadian, so I'm just like international
okay. No,
airport,
you're
like
with a lot
passports.
of Canadians when you're lining up in that big line.
Wow. Yeah, I also noticed it. So I dropped my friend off at O'Hare Airport in Chicago because that's where she flew in.
Yeah.
And even exiting that airport, it was really easy. And I said to her when I picked her up, because I exited the airport twice, picking her up and dropping her off. And I was just like, this is like so simple to get out of. And I said, Toronto Airport is ridiculous to get out of. Even like you have to get in the right lane. And I said, I've done that trip many times and I will still put my maps on to know which which lane to get into because it's just ridiculously
It's like
chaotic.
a zoo. The whole place is like a zoo.
It is.
And it's really for an international airport.
It's terrible.
Yeah, when you
if you're flying into Canada, maybe give Toronto
But
a
even
miss.
when you're flying out, if you're flying out of Gatwick or Heathrow, you go through customs and then you've got this world. It's like you're in a shopping mall. Like there's lots to do, but you go through the Canadian one, even though I get there early, you've got duty free and a spattering of a few shops and some restaurants. But it's not the experience that I like when I go through. Like, I like to go early when I'm in England because I'm like, oh, I can do another bit
the
of
things
shopping.
that you can shop
so
for.
much stuff to do. Anyway, so it's going to be all right when you get to New Zealand. It's come back this way.
Yeah, it's coming back this way. And then I've got to go through the States on my way back, which is
Oh, yeah, that's a bit
bit of a bummer, but that's
pain in
okay.
the ass. Do you have any travel stories? Have you ever not got your bag?
Yes. The last time I went to New Zealand, we were delayed in Toronto, and I had a very short, I think it was like an hour and a half layover in Vancouver. And I was sitting on the tarmac in Toronto thinking, I don't think I'm going to get my flight in Vancouver. Like, that's how delayed we were. And then eventually we took off. And by that point, I don't stress about it because I'm like, I can't do anything.
You can't do anything about it.
It is what it is. And then when we were landing, they were so great. Like the air hostess and even the pilot, like everybody on the ground was amazing. And they basically said, we've got a lot of people on this flight that are connecting to the New Zealand flight, New Zealand or Australia, because I was actually going via Australia. And they said, if you are not on this flight, please stay seated. If you are on this flight, get up, grab your things, because when we open those doors, you can go. And so it was very, very quick. And we were all kind of like running through the terminal, and the plane was waiting for us.
Right.
And so thankfully there must have been such a group of people that were connecting to that flight. But I got on that plane and I thought, there's no way my bags are coming with me. And so sure enough, I landed in New Zealand. No, my bag was not there. And so I checked in everything and I went to the desk and sure enough, they were still in Australia. So it took probably about 3 days for my bags to come.
They were still in Australia?
Pardon?
They were in Australia or in...
Yeah,
okay.
They were still in Australia.
Okay.
Because I did Vancouver, Australia, New Zealand. Ridiculous flight, but it was cheap. But yeah, thankfully, like I've learned that I pack a majority of my essential things in my carry-on. So anything that was in my checked-in luggage was just, it was excess things.
Well, I learnt my lesson, so I always pack, which I should have done anyway, a change of clothes or something that I might need as soon as I get there. Because when we went to Spain once, the kids were small, my bag with my clothes and the kids' clothes in didn't arrive.
Okay.
And they said that as soon, it was on its way, they were putting it on another plane or something, and then it would have got delivered to the place that we were staying. But for that first 24 hours, we had the clothes that we were standing in, and the kids had some extras because I'd packed extras for those of my hand luggage. But we wanted to go swimming, so the swimming stuff wasn't in there. So what I should have thought of was, what are we going to do when we get there? What if you don't get your bag? You need these things.
Yeah.
So we had to go shopping. I mean, women don't like shopping for swimming costumes at any time. Well, I'm pretty sure most women don't. So then I'm in Spain and having to find something, and it's all like skimpy dimpy and anyway, the kids got some great little outfits to wear, and then I picked this all-in-one because the bikini ones were like tiny little triangles, and that's not going to work.
It's not going to hold anything.
So the only one I could find, and it was a spotted thing. It was just awful.
Were you in your itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot, not bikini?
Not a bikini, but it was an all-in-one that it just wasn't. It wasn't flattering, not flattering at all. If a swimsuit can be, and so it's a funny story in my family. That's luckily the cases came the next day. I'm like, thank God for that.
Yeah,
because we were just washing the kids' underwear in the,
So, public service announcement for anybody who's not travelled before. Our recommendation: definitely put at least 1 or 2 pairs of clothing in your carry-on luggage if you've got checked clothing, because you don't know.
So you can survive.
Yep.
A couple of days rotating what you need.
I learned that lesson pretty quickly in my travel experience. Not because anything bad happened, but just thinking through things and realizing, if I actually want to change my outfit on an airplane just to feel like a human being, rather than just sitting in your own sweat and yuck for 24 hours, then you gotta have something.
You definitely got to have another pair of knickers with you.
Yep.
My bag went before me once.
What do you mean?
I came over to Canada to visit my friend Kerry, and my dad worked for British Airways, and I was on a standby so that I would have a cheaper flight. So I got dropped off at the airport by Kerry, and then Kerry goes, and then I checked my bag in, and then you wait to see if you get on the flight.
Oh.
So I was right at the gate, and I didn't get on the flight.
But your bag did.
But my bag did. So my bag buggered off before me and arrived it was in Heathrow as well.
Okay.
And I was still in Canada. And I don't know, I hadn't packed.
Oh, boy.
Like I just thought I was getting on the plane or I'd get my bag back, which is what normally happens. Then I had to contact Kerridge. I had to come back up to the airport and pick me up. I had to stay there another night and blah, 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 blah. So then when I got to Heathrow, it's all this palaver because then I have to find
where your bag
unclaimed
is.
Baggage because it would have been just going around there by itself because I'm in a different country.
Oh, my goodness. That's
Baggage
crazy.
reclaim is a total nother
yes.
thing to experience, isn't it?
Yeah. So when I first went back home to New Zealand, it was just after the world opened its gates again for travelling after COVID. And I remember when my bag didn't arrive, I went to the baggage claim area or like that to sort it out. And I looked to my left and there is a sea of bags just there.
Like, they took them off or a sea of bags?
No, like a sea of bags waiting to be collected.
Oh.
Like a sea of bags that were either not collected or didn't make the flights. Like there was so many bags and they were like, do you just want to go through and see if any of them is yours? And so like I know what my suitcase looks like and I was like, in the sea of bags, I cannot see it. But yeah, just so many bags just sitting there waiting for people to come and get them or they'd been delayed or whatever. But
wow.
Yeah. Anyway, travel stories.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
see if you get any stories on your way this time.
I really hope I don't. Like
nice stories, maybe.
Nice stories are okay. I remember this one time, I think about it every single time when I see Fort Lauderdale in Florida, like just that word, Fort Lauderdale, because on my first overseas experience, I was 20 and I went to the UK and I went to America. And when I was flying from London to the States, I was going to Tennessee and I sat next to this fella that was very chatty. I'm not a chatty person on the airplane. I like to just tell people in my brain because I don't actually tell people, no, thank you. But this man, he was actually very kind and he was a retiree and he taught me how to do Scrabble. No, not Scrabble. He taught me how to do a word puzzle because I kind of understood. I know crosswords, but.
Was it like Sudoku? Oh, no, that's numbers.
No. It was a crossword, but it was more of the complex one. And I don't have time for them. And so like he's just like took me through how to do a crossword puzzle and he told me about his life and he was a retiree and he lived in Fort Lauderdale in Florida. And
so you remember him?
So I remember him. And so that was a really nice interaction. But
I do not. Don't talk to me on a plane.
That's why you've got your headphones in.
You can imagine. I've got my headphones on straight away. Look, they sit next to me and I'm like, yep, nope, thank you. So this guy next to me, my last trip, he tried to speak to me. So I had a little conversation. He was British and he was trying to talk about the shows that were on the TV on the plane. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna fly all the way, mate.
No.
So I'm like very antisocial. I must go on headphones on, gravel in, bosh, I'm out. So then at the very end, they come, I miss the dinner, I miss all of that, never eat. And then at the very end, they give you like this little banana loaf for breakfast because you're arriving in England in breakfast time. And I heard the woman say, can you just put that in the pocket in front of her? She might want it when she wakes up. I'm like, oh, great bit banana loaf. So then I wake up
snapped it.
And he said to me, they bought you some banana loaf. Like he started speaking immediately, my headphones came off. And I was like, oh, thank you. But I think he meant no thank you. He's like, oh, good. That's another one for me. And he just took it. I didn't. And
so he did snap you a banana loaf.
He thought, he ate it in front of me. And I'm like, oh, man. Like I was going to say, no, stop. He'd already taken it and a crinkly wrapper thing and he was eating my banana loaf.
That's so sad.
Yeah. I guess it serves me right for not being more friendly. And he just misheard me because I was like, oh, thank you. But I think it was like, oh, no, thank you. Oh, yeah, have that. Anyway.
Who would do that?
Yeah, who does that?
Who does that?
Talking of who does that, should we have a little break and then?
No, we're not even there yet.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Okay.
But we will take a break and we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll take a break.
Okay, and we're back. We've settled down after talking about our flight experiences.
Yeah, now we're in New Zealand. I've done a little, I'm starting to save things because a lot of New Zealand things pop up on my algorithms. Sometimes I tell you things that happen in New Zealand. You don't know
we'll be at work and then you'll say to me, hey, did you know that there's a ship burning down in New Zealand? And I'm like, what? No? Where? She's like, in this town. Here, let me find it for you. And then you'll show me the town. And I'm like, I've never heard of that place before. I think it's like a blip on the radar kind of town.
But it was true, though. It was some ship that was happening.
Yes.
You just didn't have it on your news.
I did
so
not have it on my news.
And then there was the flooding and the evacuation. You're like, oh, why is that not on my news?
Well, actually, to be fair, I don't ever look at the news.
Oh.
So that's why it's not on my news. I don't look at
I'll
it.
just keep you updated with what's happening.
You can update
But
me on
they
what's
send
happening.
me like cool places to visit and cool cafes to go to. And I was like, oh, let's start collecting these and see if they're in the realm of our travels when we do our travels. So I'm already excited and we don't even know when the hell we're going. Talking about restaurants and cafes and eating out, do New Zealanders tip? Is that a thing that happens?
Nope. It's not a thing that happens. Nope.
Wow. It's not nothing on receipts, or you wouldn't feel obliged to leave a tip?
No, like it's actually just not part of the culture at all. So there were times when working in a cafe, somebody would leave a tip, like some cash on the table, and we'd all kind of pick it up and say, what do you do with it? Like, can I pocket it? Or so usually the person who cleared the table, we just said, like, you can pocket it, because it would have been like all of a couple of bucks, or maybe at the most, maybe like $5 or $10. At that point, you can't exactly split that between the 7 people that are on shift that day.
No.
So it happened very rarely though, but it was always a sense of joy of like, oh, I'm going to clear that table because I could see some money on it.
Wow.
But it is very much, it's not an option. It's not something that's even on the machines to say, do you want a tip? It was when I first went to America, I was 21 and that was my trip that I just mentioned about my first overseas experience. I turned 21 in Northern Ireland, so I went to the US afterwards. And a friend of mine took me to an IHOP. And I was like, I will get this. But I looked at the bill and I was like, first of all, what do you do with your credit card? She's like, they take it away. I'm like, cool. And then what do I tip? Because I just sat there and I looked at it, because you have to, like, they'll take their credit card away and they'll bring it back with the slip on it, and you can either add it the tip amount and then the total amount, and then you sign it. You sign the receipt. And I just kind of stood there but unfortunately, my friend was not very helpful at the time. She's like, just whatever you want. And I was like, but I don't know what I want. Like, is there a dollar value? Is there a percentage value? And then how do you work that out? Because my brain did not go that fast with percentages.
I don't like the idea of them taking your card away, though. Does that still happen in the States?
Oh, yeah.
Because somewhere in my brain, there's a story, and I think it might be my dad and his wife. Their card got taken away, but then the card got, what's that word when it gets compromised?
Right.
And they think it's because the card was taken away.
Many places in the States.
No, I don't like that, because here the machine will come to the table and you never let go of your card. That's interesting. I don't really like that idea.
So then so New Zealand, no for tipping. That's what happens in the States. Here in Canada, like you just said, the machine gets given to you, irrelevant of whether you're like at the counter or if you're at a table. And then on the machine, these days it's gotten better so that you have an option. You have a percentage option, and it'll say either 15, 18 or 20%. And then underneath that, it'll give you the dollar value. So then you can have a quick calculation of what your total will actually be with that tip added. So in the UK, what do they do for tipping?
I remember before I moved here, we're not a very tipping culture. And I used to work in a place, like it was another like coffee shop experience place. And then you'd get a few tips in the jar, but not enough to split between everyone. So we used to pool it for like a month, and then you may get like $20 from it.
Right.
So not huge tippers in establishments like that.
So would it only be a jar on the counter?
Yeah.
Rather than something that you could pay
Yes,
your
especially
entire
where I
bill
was
with?
working. You can't tip on the machine. It has changed quite a lot. There is more tipping options now. Sometimes it will be on the bill that's already been included, and sometimes there's options.
Right.
So it has changed. I used to think that Canada was quite a lot behind England. When we used to come and visit Canada, they'd be like, you've got a phone that you can send messages on. This is when we used to come before we lived here.
Yeah.
And so technology then, we were ahead, and then the tapping and the debit card thing they were very behind here. But now I think the whole world is caught up and we're all kind of in the same place.
Right.
But now I think that England is slowly becoming more tippy than it used to be. But it's definitely not a lot.
What about Europe? So when you go over the English Channel and you're hitting into all the European countries, even though
you know what, I
England's
really
part of
can't
Europe.
recall whether, I think maybe we tipped. Again, I can't remember that, but
I mean, hey, if you live in Europe and you're in the service industry department,
yeah,
let us know.
Let us know if
Are
you
a
rely
tipping
on
country?
tips. Because it used to be the case that servers would get paid less here.
That's definitely the case in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they don't get paid less. They're on the same now. That's since changed. Now, somebody might correct me if I'm wrong, but I honestly think that the servers...
I'd say in the States, it's not as
It
true.
hasn't changed. Yeah. But
Just
I
because the
think
minimum
it has.
wage in different states and different areas
Right, yeah.
is very low.
Or maybe in Ontario then. I don't know how far the rule goes. But the reason why it's such a tipping culture here is because the people that you're tipping would normally earn way less than what minimum wage was.
Right.
So it's huge here for you to tip. And even since we've been working in this industry in Canada, the tip percentages that people can choose from
Has
has
also
gone
changed. Because
up.
it
So
used to be...
start 5%.
Was it 5?
You always question me, then I can't confidently say yes, but I think
Okay,
it was
it
a
might
5.
have been 5, but I remember it being 10, 12 or 15
Right.
when I first got here.
Now it's 15.
18 or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a lot of, like, when you start to break that bill down, that's...
Also in Canada, that was something to get used to, and I don't know whether you have this in New Zealand, but if you go into England and you buy yourself a chocolate bar and it says that it's £1.30, it's £1.30.
Yes.
And then when you come here...
The tax is not added on
No.
to the dollar value. It took me so long to figure that out. Well,
Yeah.
not to figure out, but when I used to
You
just
get
walk
the
down
right
the corner,
change ready.
Yeah, so just down the corner from where I live, there's a little ice cream store that opens up in the summertime. And so I've been like, great, it's 30 degrees outside. I want to go get an ice cream because I'm freaking hot. And so I would see on the sign, $3.50. I'm like, great, I've got $3.50. So then I'd walk there and then I'd get halfway there and I'm like, no. You've got to come back and get an extra dollar or so because there's going to be tax added to that.
Yeah, why can't it just be put in?
I don't understand.
No.
Well, actually, I mean, I do understand because it's all federal and you get into the different provinces have different tax reasons and it's a whole palaver here. But yes, it was one of those things where I just thought to myself, why does my price always go up at the end
Yeah.
rather than what you're seeing? Because you're not seeing anything at face
And
value.
then you have to work out the tip on top of that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So New Zealand don't have that.
No. Well, New Zealand has the tax included in the price.
Yeah.
So when you see something, it's at dollar value.
Yeah.
And there's no tipping that you have to try and navigate or figure out. But also the minimum wage has gone up quite significantly since I was last there. And so even if you are working at McDonald's, you are on minimum wage, which is higher than what it is here. Doesn't make any difference because the price of living is still astronomically high.
So they put the minimum wage up, but let's not get into politics or anything. But
it's like, this is not a political
No,
podcast. This
they-
is a light
they
fluffy-
put that up, and then you're like, great, I get more money every hour. But then your coffee price has gone up,
Yeah.
or it's just
ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah. So no, New Zealand is not a tipping nation. I am looking forward to going into cafes and when a coffee says $3.50, which I don't imagine any coffee these days is $3.50, but if it was, it'd be $3.50.
And will you tip?
Pardon?
Will you tip?
No.
See, I tip in places now in England, or I'll say, do you not have a little tip jar I can put these in? Or they'll say, no.
But it's not part of.
No, but you
the
could
thought
be that
process.
nice person that's like, and they're like, oh, wow.
No.
What's that?
Why would I want to do that?
What's happened? Have you turned into me? When I first met Scott and I would leave a tip on the table, we'd be like, what's that? I'd be like, that's the tip. He'd just look at me like, that's not enough. I'm like, that is enough here. Like, I'm just leaving £1. And he will be like, no, you can't do that. It's got to be at least like 10% of the... So I'm such a cheap tipper. I mean, I've gotten much better, but he still questions me when we go out here, how much tip did you leave? Because he knows that I'm a British stingy tipper. But You can't. Sometimes you don't even want a tip here because you might have had shit service.
Yeah.
And you don't have the choice because it could already be on the bill, or
That is a hard part. My friend and I were talking about this actually when we were in Chicago. She said, "How do you tip when you're in the States, and how much do you tip?" And I said, "Well, when I'm here in Canada, I do, just because it's part of the culture, and being on the receiving end of tips, I really appreciate them. And so, but when I'm in the States, I find it a lot easier to either not give a tip or like do a low tip, and that's." Probably more just the fact that I'm never going to see those people again. So I'm like,
I hear you. Yeah,
and
I
then,
hear you.
but sometimes the service it's like a very quick, fast service.
Yeah.
So, like, there's actually no interaction here. There's no like service to the table. How was your meal? Like, there was no working for your tip money. Which back in the day, I think that's probably part of what it was, and even maybe in some areas it still is. It's like you're working for your tips because whatever gets left at your table, if you're that person's server, then
that's
you get to pocket it.
People don't need to try as hard these days, which is a shame.
Maybe Europe doesn't have tips because they're just like, they can be rude and they don't care about it. So
yeah, I guess. For us, where we work now, some people find it weird because they pay before they get their food, which is, I've said this before on the podcast, so sorry for boring you, but one of the most important positions when people arrive in is that either that host or that till. So where we work, our till like interaction has to be a high level, high energy, really good, because then you're asking them to pay before they've experienced the food or any of the
and to add tip onto that
and to
before
add a
they've
tip
actually
then.
eaten their food.
Yeah, because some people are like, well, I don't know what it's going to be like yet. And I'm like, well, but if they've had that great experience and they're thinking that this is going to be great all the way through, which it is most of the time that we get, well, we don't need to go into this again, but we're pretty good at what we do.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
Not to toot our own horn or anything.
So it normally is, and then we normally try and find out if it's not. But yeah, so the people are like, well, I don't know what it's going to be like. So, but we sometimes get tips on tables, but it's rare.
Yeah.
That people
I always found the tips on tables an interesting one because I always wondered who isn't a server that walks past those tables and just nicks it.
Oh, we've had tips nicked from tables.
We have?
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
and one of the other tables says that guy's just walked out with the change that was on that table.
Oh, how rude.
Yeah.
But it does go through my brain.
Yeah.
So clearly it does happen.
Well, we've also had tips stolen from the tip tray.
When you're right in front of the person.
Yeah.
Who does that?
It's like, what are you doing? Put that back right now.
Yeah, he's like, but I'm just getting the change. And I'm like, no, you're pulling out more coins than what you actually put in there. You're not getting change for anything, sir.
And then that kid that came in and when you turned your back, he would
take
the money out.
What a piece of work.
And there's also that dude, but I know what he looks like now. I will always remember him. He didn't steal from the tip jar, but he got me on that, I gave you this note and not this note. And I'm like, I was so mad that I fell for it. I put the money back in the till because that was my mistake. But he gave me the money. I gave him his change. Maybe I didn't count it out because I normally do. So that's why I was so like kicking myself. And I turned around to get his drink and he goes, this is not enough. And I'm like, well, I gave you more than that. He goes, no, you just gave me this 5. I'm like, I didn't. And he's like, no, you did. Like, So I gave him the other 10. And at the end of the night, sure enough, we're out by 10. I'm like, God, you. And I put the 10 in because, I'd been
duped.
I'd been done.
Yeah.
He came back in months later.
Did he try it again?
Yes. So I'm on the espresso machine. Someone else is on the till.
Yeah.
They turn around and then he said it again. I went, are you sure about that, sir? And he said, yeah, they've only given me this. And I said, because you've done this to me last time. I remember you from before.
You said
yeah,
that to
I
him?
said, I remember you, so don't even think about trying that again. And he just looked at me. And I said, but I'm happy to take your phone number. And if my till is out this evening, then I'll give you a call. Like, you bugger.
What did he do to that one?
Just took his drink.
Okay. Have you ever seen him in since?
No.
No.
I haven't seen him since.
What a crafty piece of work, eh? Whenever somebody gives me a higher note than a 20, or if it's a couple of 20s.
Oh, yeah. You count it back.
I will always put those notes on the counter.
Yeah.
I will get the change. I will give them the change. I will tell them. And it's not until I finish that transaction do I actually put that note back in.
I think I got done because it was only a 20.
Right.
So he didn't get like a huge amount from me. He didn't do that whole bantering, I gave you this and I haven't got 50 of this back.
Yeah.
or the people that say, "Can I have change?" That happened in there was a yogurt place next to us, and they came in and said somebody just got $50 from us because they'd done that whole confuse the person. You didn't give me this, you just gave me this, and if I give you this, you can give me this, and then they get the money out of you that way.
Who are you if you're going to a cafe and duping a person out of $10?
Yeah, but if you're doing the rounds, by the time you finish at the end of where we work, like that whole strip and all those shops at the end, you've got yourself a nice little earner for that day.
The cheek of some people.
The cheek of it. That's so annoying. You have to be very careful. Very careful. And then the other way around it is the people that tip by mistake. It's happened only twice to my knowledge, but a lady came in with her receipt about 3 days later and said, I bought this coffee and I've given you a $5 tip. And I was like, yeah, you must have pressed the tip. I never tip. But it's come up here 5. And I said, well, it is something that you've pressed because we can't do it from our side.
We don't
well, I
that.
just don't tip. Like they were arguing with me. And I was like, would you like your tip money back? Yes. So
she came back for a $5 tip?
Yeah. And she'd bought like a bag of coffee. So she had over tipped on it.
Right.
But she said she'd never tips. So I was like, kind of accusing us that we had put this on. And I was like, no, it has to be you. Mm-hmm. So you've pressed something by mistake, madam. It's not a problem. Yeah. Do you need your tips back? And she said, yes. I'm like, okay. And I went and got them for him. And then this other guy tipped just very recently. He tipped $1.34 or something. Mm-hmm. And he didn't mean to. And he's asked if we could give it back. And I said, yeah, it's no problem. If you don't want a tip, you've just done it by mistake.
Yeah.
And I gave it back, but yeah.
I look at those people. Maybe this is my, I'm going to claim it as my who does it for today.
Okay.
So.
Moving on. Who does that?
Who does that? My one that I've just thought of is when your server has, like, back in the old days when we put in the amount of money that goes onto the machine for your bill, right? Now it's all automated and connected to everything.
Yeah.
So we used to, like, say it's $10. We would put $10 onto the machine, pass the machine over to the person, and they would pay. Sometimes I would accidentally push like an extra zero.
Right.
And so it would be $100.
Right.
And before they'd paid, I'd say, oh, hold on, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. That's $100 I've just put there. They go and say, oh, I wouldn't even noticed.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Who has just like extra cash in their account that would never notice that you just paid an extra $90?
That would probably be me at the time.
Oh.
Because I just don't look.
Helen, who does that?
Yeah.
Or why would you do that?
Well, I just tap. Thank you for my drink. It wouldn't be until later on
that you would actually
would notice, and then you'd have to go back in and say, "I like that woman."
I just paid $90 worth of tips. That was not what I intended.
You know what's scary these days, though? That tap is so quick. Mm-hmm. I mean, luckily, as you say now, we can't really make a mistake. We don't have to punch anything in.
Yeah,
because we've got a new system.
But that's our system. Not everybody.
No,
like when
that's
you're
true.
Getting served at the table, someone's still putting in that amount because they're like, "Can I have a look at that receipt, please?"
Yes,
and then they're putting in that.
Yeah, that's where errors could be made, but it's very difficult to do that, make errors now. Mm-hmm. But they would just have their wallet near it, and something would tap, and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know how I've paid." And I said, "Well, you have. Like, there's something." It's very scary that.
Oh, the modern age.
Oh, the modern.
Do you have a who does that?
No, I don't, but I have. Can you do this?
Okay.
It's a weird one.
Okay.
This is completely separate from tips and restaurant stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So, can you separate your little toe from the rest of your toes? Told you it was out of there. Like,
yes.
if you look at your feet, and which is what we're doing now, because we both have like flip-flops or jandals. Look at me saying that right.
I've got bare feet on. You got shoes on.
You do, actually. Where was your flip-flops? Oh, by the door. You're at home.
I'm like, why would I be wearing shoes in my own house?
I should have taken mine off. I can't do it. I really concentrate, but my little toe doesn't move.
Doesn't want to move.
Does yours? Let me see.
Well, I'm going to spread them out, and I'm just going to carry on talking for our listeners. Otherwise, they're just going to have a whole bunch of silence.
Yeah, for my forehead.
Looking at our toes. So if you're not driving, listening to this, have a go. Can you spread your toes? And is there a gap between your pinky toe,
Yeah.
your little toe,
Your little toe.
and your next toe in?
Yeah.
That's like people saying you can't lick your elbow and then saying, did you just try to lick your elbow?
I have tried, you can't. Yeah, I can't do it. I have to, the amount of concentration and energy that's coming from my brain down to my foot to try and do it is.
Do you know the
honestly,
crazy thing though, is that if you had to, like if you lost everything else of your body and you only had the ability to do anything with your toes, you'd be able to.
You'd have to really focus to do it.
Well, yeah, but like
I have done it before.
the
And
people
I'm
that
like,
can paint with their toes,
yeah,
like I think there's parts of our bodies that we just don't utilize because we don't have to.
yeah.
And so then we don't engage that part of our brain in order to be able to separate your pinky toe from all the other toes.
Actually, you're not, I don't think you're wrong there, because I listened to a podcast that somebody that got paralyzed from diving into a pool.
Mm-hmm.
And things have worked out quite well for him because now he can get around with
Right.
support. But he focused so hard on his feet for months. And then there was a little movement and it's like, okay, that connection is still there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have to really, like, it's so much energy. I'd probably have to go to sleep afterwards, but I have done that.
Helen's fallen asleep. What's happened? Oh, she focused on her
She's just
toes.
trying to move her little toe away from the rest and she can't. Anyway, so there you go.
There you go.
Can you do this?
Can you do this? Good luck to you guys. Alrighty, what's Milo's question of the week?
Well, I don't have one, but you do.
Oh, you're putting it on me.
I am, because you said I've got this one, this one, this one. And
I was like, you can choose one. I think I remember the one that you chose.
Oh, yes.
So I'll put it to you.
Yeah.
Because I have it here and you've put it back on me.
Yeah,
so
I have.
This is Milo's question of the week. So when he said this one to me, it was pick somebody on shift or pick somebody that we work with. And then who out of what we were, for goodness sake, who would be the world's DJ? If the world had to have a DJ, who would it be? So because our listeners don't know who we work with, I'm just going to put it to you and say, of anybody in your life, who can you think of?
It'll be the same person
That would be the world's DJ. It would?
Well, because I don't know that many DJs.
Well, just like it would be a person that would know music well. So when Milo asked me this question,
Oh, it could be my dad.
okay,
He knows a lot about music.
yeah.
So he could be the world's.
You should choose your dad
That
as
is
the world's
so
DJ.
funny to see my dad. Wicka, 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 wicka.
Well, it doesn't actually have to be like a sound mixed version. It's just the DJ is somebody who plays the music or controls the music for the world.
Yeah.
So I picked our boss.
Yeah, which is where I would have gone if that was the same, like if somebody that was there, because he's done that before. And
Yeah, he used to be a DJ
he's very good
at
at
one
it.
point in his life. And so,
he
yeah.
DJs downstairs in his basement now. He had a go with DJing last night. I said, where? In my basement. He's got it all set up. Like, he would be great.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'd pick him because I know that he would know what he was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great question because I kind of went through my list of people that I know in my mind of like, there's so many different people that have such a love for music, but different genres of music.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure out if there was somebody that I knew that had like an all-encompassing
Yeah.
love and knowledge of music.
I'm willing to listen to new music and stuff. My dad's quite willing to listen to new music. He's
Yeah.
not just stuck in the, like on Radio 2. He's he plays some good tunes. He remembers lots of good.
See, that's what you need for
Music.
a world DJ.
Yeah.
I don't know what the context was. I don't think I asked a lot of questions for this, but this one requires a lot of question asking because
Yeah.
it's like, does the DJ get to play the music all the time? Is there like certain themes so that, certain things and elements, do they get to see all of people's lives all at once? Like, are they that kind of person? And then they can like play theme songs for those people? Like, what is the scope for the world's DJ? I didn't get into that. I just straight away went our boss. That was my answer.
Yeah.
I carried on with my life.
Carried on with your day. So my dad or Fatboy Slim. He could go out there.
But you don't know Fatboy Slim.
I feel like I do. But no, for people I know, then definitely my dad.
Okay.
So, Dad, you better get your DJing stuff ready. DJ the world.
Because someday someone's going to knock on your door and say, "Excuse me, sir,
DJ Ron.
you are the DJ of the world."
Have you seen the Instagram where the guy sees people like in a station or something and he sings a song that represents them?
Yes.
Oh,
You've sent that to me.
It's so funny.
Yeah. It's very entertaining.
It is.
It's like a voiceover but
Yeah,
in
he
song
sings a
version.
song.
You're dressed like this, I'm going to sing a Bee Gees song because that's exactly what you look like there, sir.
They ask these people too whether they can. There's
is
someone
very
on the ground
entertaining.
asking, and then there's the guy up wherever he's standing doing it. It's so good. I like that.
So good.
Anyway,
Alrighty, well, that's us for this week. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us pod.andanotherthing@gmail.com. We also have an Instagram page. It's And Another Thing Podcast. You can look us up there. Give us a like and a follow on whatever medium you listen to your podcast.
I'm so sorry. So just had to pause because she just had this major coughing fit and now she can't quite get herself together.
I'm like crying because I had such a big coughing fit. I was trying to hold it in and I just couldn't any longer. Oh, goodness. But for now, I'm going to be in New Zealand and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of the next 3 weeks. I hope that you enjoy the next couple of episodes. They're going to be a little bit shorter, but just as fun, just as delightful.
Enjoy your holiday, young lady.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Have a good idea.
Have a good idea.